Hey, what's up, everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so what's up, man? I have Lakers on my mind, but I don't think this is gonna be a Laker video, only because I just literally made one, and I don't think I have anything else to say. This is nothing that I can think of right now, anyway. So, yeah, man. What's up in my life? I'm doing good. I'm laundry today. Testing out the new laundry detergent. It's smellless and dyeless, so you know we'll see if it is best for me right now. But I only got a small amount of it, and I do have some of my regular stuff on the way, as I mentioned. So, you know, doing laundry, and of course I wanted to walk down to Target and get everything that I wasn't able to purchase yesterday since it was holiday, Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. Target was closed, so some of that stuff I just couldn't get. But yeah, I feel all right. I don't have any, bad thoughts or anything. I'm feeling good about my push-up bar. I think it's going to be an adjustment for my hands, to be honest with you, more so than anything else. I don't know if I want to buy myself some workout gloves or something to kind of lessen the damage. But it's just going to take an adjustment, just like everything else, man. It hurts the hand to use that thing right now, but I don't think it will as I continue to use it, and I'm dedicated to building my way up. So they have a little program that they have on paper that they attach to the push-up device, and I think I'll follow that program. Yesterday was back day, so I did 3 sets of the back work, 6 reps, nothing too serious, just getting used to the thing, and build my way up. And then today is shoulders and chest, and they have like several more options for the chest, so you're doing more reps just in general. And the back reps, the shoulder reps rather, feel pretty easy for me. It's the chest reps and the back reps that are a bit of a strain, but it ain't too serious to where I can't pull off at like 6 or 7 of them in one set. And so it's just gonna be a build-up phase, and we'll see how it goes, man. I'm looking forward to reinventing my body with this thing. And you know, it's the same one my friend had at his house that I used, and you know, it gave me some significant resistance there. So I know it'll work for me now that I have it in my possession. So yeah, I feel very good about it. Just have to get used to the hand thing, you know. Maybe they have some type of soft wraparound apparatus that they put on those things. Maybe I can look into that, see if such a thing exists, to where you could, you know, just have some type of give, because you're really putting your hand on plastic as you're doing your push-ups. And like I said, while I can get used to it for the time being, it causes some pain. And I think if you do the more reps you do in the short term, the more pain you're likely going to feel. So if there's some type of sticky, soft thing I can put on there, that'll probably be ideal. So we'll see. I'll look into that. But yeah, that's one thing. And then I don't know, I think something I'm eating is making me have some of the troubles that I've been having. I don't know what it is. It might, who knows, man. Something I'm eating. But I had some issues these last 2 days. I don't know if these issues come without the food being a problem, or if there's some layover after putting stuff in your body that continues to give you these issues for several days until it all clears out. I don't really know, but this day and yesterday was not good, and I can't tell you what I'm eating now that's probably causing these issues. I don't have no idea. So this is frustrating. It doesn't end, but you know, halfway through the month of April, got to get through May, and then at the beginning of June I will be able to get to a doctor, and they can tell me what I need to do, what type of surgery will likely be needed for my body. So that's what I'm prepared for. Hopefully it doesn't require that, but I think it probably will. So yeah, man, we just keep pushing forward for now, though, and just take care of myself. Continue to ramp up my conditioning to offset the fatigue that naturally comes with this issue. And you know, I've been good these last, say, 6 days. Have been really good for that, man. The weekend was very good for me, fitness-wise. You know, pushing harder and getting 9 days straight of my squat regimen. Yesterday, I decided not to do it. I didn't have any energy for that. I really didn't. When I got in the house after lugging everything I had to carry into the house, there was no energy for my 10th straight day of 100 Blue. That wasn't going to happen. But I did my later night stuff that I never take a day off on, ab work and stuff like that. And so I'm starting to see it, man. I'm starting to really see some difference in my body after pushing as hard as I have. And so I'm very proud of that. But it's going to take some time before I get to where I like to be, where I was two winters ago, I guess you can say. So yeah, man, that's really what's on my mind. There ain't a whole lot else. Watching playoff basketball where I can. I didn't really care to do that too much last night, though. Them games were not interesting to me. Although I hear the Golden State Rockets game was better than the score was telling. But I didn't watch much of that at all. But I do have every intention of watching tonight's games, because the first two from these particular series were interesting to me. So I'll give this night a look. And of course, my Lakers play tomorrow. So hopefully they're strategizing to get ready for game 2. But yeah, man, I don't really have too much going on. Just taking care of business, man. My head has been focused on fitness. Really, these last couple of days has been all about pushing myself a little harder and, you know, walking, getting my steps in. It ain't been a whole lot to consider outside of that, to be honest with you guys. And so, oh yeah, that's something. Pope Francis passed away in the wee hours of the morning last night, I think it was. So rest in peace to him, and condolences to all of the Catholics out there. He seemed like a good one, man. Honestly, he did. The stuff that he was willing to say about what's going on in Palestine, you know, from what I understand, one of the last things he was recorded saying was talking about how horrible that situation is. So y'all know that's dear to my heart. So he definitely gets points from me, just off the strength of him willing to say that. 88 years of age. He seemed like a really good guy. He seemed like a good guy to me. A lot of times, you know, a lot of us who have paid attention to a lot of things don't have a whole lot of faith in the church, Catholic Church, because we've seen a lot of what's awful about them kind of come out. Hey, friends, what's up, fellas? Hey. What's up? Good afternoon. But yeah, a lot of us have seen some of the worst stuff come from the Catholic Church. Some of the things that we know about the history is a lot of wickedness done in God's name, just like a lot of wickedness is done in religion. A lot of different ways to turn people away from the faith. They put on the religious hat and then proceed to do the worst things in the world. And I think the Catholic religion has long been inflicted with that disease. But at the end of the day, human beings, they're good ones and there's some bad ones. It seemed like to me that Pope Francis was one of the good ones, you know what I mean? And I've known some really good Catholic people in my life, so I'm not inflicted with thinking the entire Catholic religion is a reflection of the evil that's been done in the name of their religion. I don't believe that at all. But I have seen some evil done in their religion, and I talked about that when I was reflecting on my time in Catholic school for one semester, 6th grade. It was a lot of tough times there, and we talked a lot about that early on when I first made this channel. And I even went back there and showed you guys the church. I actually have a video where I went back to Blessed Sacrament and showed y'all what the church looked like, and reflected on a ghost story that I had there. So yeah, man, that's a entirely different conversation, but the point is, a good portion of the people I grew up around were Catholic, and I got a chance to get a small sample size of their culture of their religion, which is very different than Christianity, but still believes in Christ. So shout out to all my Catholic brothers and sisters out there. Got nothing but respect for you, and you know, sorry about Pope Francis. He seemed like a damn good guy. Honestly, he did. And I wonder if he wasn't bumped off, if I'm being completely honest with you. You talk about Pope talking about what's going on in Palestine, and you just understand that, you know, the Zionist entity is inflicted great suffering on the world. So they allow you to speak up on a lot of things But once you start speaking up on that with his voice, all of a sudden you end up leaving the earth. And it's an interesting thing. I would not put it past him. I wouldn't put it past Israel kill the Pope, killing children. Why wouldn't they kill the Pope? So, do I think that he was unalived on purpose? I don't know, man. He was 88 years old. I know he had some health problems. But now that he's not here, and that was one of the last things he did with his voice, I mean, I don't see why one wouldn't consider that as a possibility, or even a probability, if I'm being completely honest with you. So, the more I pay attention to what Israel and America are up to and their energy, the more I realize that they are not interested in, representing themselves in a humane way, in any way, shape, or form. So if it's some dirt to muck around in, or some evil to accomplish, believe me, they're not above it. They're not. So that is what I have to say about that particular thing, man. So yeah, man, that's really where my head goes, man. We see who the next pope is going to be. I've seen a lot of popes in my lifetime. 40 years, they've had several popes. Some of them had great reputations, others not so much. But what I can say is this one probably had one of the best reputations in recent memory. That's what I will say. This guy seemed like one of the better ones in my lifetime, if not the best one in my lifetime, to be completely honest with you. So yeah, man, that's really what comes to mind there. Now move forward and continue to pray, man. The relationship with God is the most important thing in my mind. Not necessarily religion, but that you have that relationship guiding and governing your mind and your heart, your actions and your behaviors, and comforting you through your struggles, giving you poise and a space of peace from which to operate. I think that is what is most needed for the human mind in this world of confusion, misdirection, wickedness, and everything like that. And so I encourage people to, whatever religion you're in, make sure you have that relationship, man, with God. That's what we talk about. Having a relationship with a church can be very important for a lot of people. A lot of opinions vary in that regard. As I've been saying, my family has wanted me, my uncle specifically has wanted me to get involved in a church. And it's one of those situations where it's been understood in our religion that we are supposed to go to church. We have to go to church. And I just think that has been used against us in a lot of cases, because the church understands that they're able to guilt trip us into giving money and maybe some other however it goes. And I don't subscribe to that belief. I really don't. I think the church is in your heart. I think the church is in the people. I think you can fellowship here on your channel and have church. I just don't subscribe to that as a grown man. I really don't. I can appreciate being raised in a church, for which I was. And I was lucky enough to be raised in a church with a great pastor who was extremely knowledgeable about more things than just his religion. And if he were still around, I would feel extremely confident that going to church was for me because of the specifics of the church. But to go to a church because I have to go to church, I don't subscribe to that. If you happen to find a great church and you want to be a part of it, then your love for being at that church is going to bring you back every Sunday. But just some uniform understanding that we just have to go, even if the church is not that great. We got to find one and keep searching for one until we find one. I don't believe that, honestly. I don't believe that at all. I never have. That doesn't mean I'm not better for finding a great church. But as an introvert, I'm very comfortable not going to church and still having a relationship with God that's as strong as anyone's. That's how I feel my practice in life affords me the opportunity to have that relationship, to be the church in some ways, to minister to you all. But the religion, the uniform, requires us to follow rules. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I just don't agree with none of that. I think a lot of that is inserted by man. I don't think a lot of that is actually required by God, nor do I feel like when I pray, the Lord is telling me I should do those things. If anything, he's telling me to ignore a lot of that, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. And I've prayed about this every day. Like, Lord, help me want to look into finding a church so that my uncle can be pleased with what it is he has in his mind in regards to the requirements for our religion. I'm like, nah, I don't. As a 40-year-old man, I have my own thoughts. And those thoughts are, if I find a great church, I'll be happy to go to it. If I have a son or a daughter, I want them to be raised in a church. So I would be looking for a church. But as far as myself right now needing to go just to find a church so that I'm meeting some requirement, that's just not real to me. I don't agree with it. I don't feel like the Lord is even leading me in that direction. If anything, it's creating static in my life, stress in my life to live up to somebody else's intentions upon my life rather than to actually look for something that God is inspiring me to look toward. And given the fact that God inspires me toward so many things, I'd imagine he would inspire me toward a church if he wanted me to be there. So I struggle with that. I'm struggling with that bad, and I want people to know that. And as much as I talk about religion, there are things, or not religion, but spirituality and a relationship with God, there are things that go on in this world that have to do with God that can be used either way to bring forth peace into your life or to bring forth strife into your life. And we got to be very careful in the pursuit of a relationship with God to not allow for those things that are meant to be used by the enemy to influence us into spaces where we feel dejected or lost or confused or in the wrong spaces for which we're misled. A need to be in a church, no matter what, can lead you to the wrong church. And I think that's kind of what inspires me to kind of do my own thing in regards to a relationship with God, because I'm from a household where my mother grew up watching my grandmother go to the wrong church and the issues that come with that. And I think that that's kind of the disconnect between my uncle and myself, because I have a different grandmother than his mother. You see what I'm saying? And though he was alive when a lot of that was happening, my mother influenced me to understand that you got to think for yourself even as it pertains to the church. Because grandma went to Jim Jones's church and lost about 50 of her friends. Luckily enough, she didn't go where they were drinking the Kool-Aid. But my grandmother, my mom's mom, was a follower of Jim Jones. You see what I'm saying? And was able to survive that. Just because the Lord had intentions of her surviving so that she could continue raising my mom and my niece, my aunties. And so, like, my mom watched a bunch of people that she knew when she was a child pass away following the church, following a madman in the church. So it's like, for me, I'm not saying I don't believe in church, because I was raised in a good one, but I'm not the guy that's just going to be like, if I can't find a good church, I'm going to go anywhere because I need to be at church. That led my grandmother into almost to the slaughter, fam. You see what I'm saying? And so when I was raised with that understanding, I don't have to do that. I know I don't have to do that. In fact, I need to be very careful about what churches I go to. Coupled with my experiences going to certain churches, seeing things that I shouldn't have saw. Pastor cursing the city of Los Angeles on national television because it wouldn't allow him to stay at the Palladium or whatever the name of that place was that he was at that point having his church. He literally got on national television with his voice and cursed the entire city. Now I'm just sitting here like, bro, I can think for myself. This is wickedness. Ain't nothing good about this. Because you can't keep a building, you want to curse the city? As a pastor in a Christian church. And so, like, certain things for me, like I said, the relationship with God is important. The gathering of human beings to worship God, that's a whole nother thing. And if it don't vibe with me, no different than anything else that involves a bunch of people, I ain't going. I don't subscribe to the I need to gather with others to fellowship no matter what. I don't shun it. I don't like avoid it like the plague, but it ain't something I'm searching for because I must. I don't must. That's the point. I don't. And so if you have a good church, stay with it, man. Don't be afraid to give. Don't be afraid to be a part of it. I don't want to push anybody away from what is good for them or keep them from something that they need. Everybody's different in that way, and I think that's the point. I'll be happy to find a church home, you know what I mean? If I find one, I'll be extremely happy about that. But as far as me just feeling like something's empty in my life or that some of my problems are caused because I'm not a part of the church, I know that not to be true. I know that not to be true. And so that's really what it comes down to, man. My relationship with God, my spirituality is stronger than it's been in 15 or 20 years. And if God wants me in a church, I'm sure he will find me one. But me trying to look for one is not to make him happy or even make myself happy. It's to make my uncle happy. And to be honest with you, that's tough on me, man. That's really tough on me. And so we talked about it a couple times. I think he watches this channel. If he sees this video, you know where I stand. I'm not against it if something comes about, but I don't think that's the end-all solution to what I have going on mentally. And I think that's what he thinks. That if I find myself in a church, I'm just going to snap out of some of the issues that I've had. I had some of those issues when I was going to church regularly. I've had these issues since I was 7 years old. They stem from problems that took place back then, traumas that took place. Religion ain't going to get you out of it. Prayer isn't even getting me out of it. I don't know that God wants me out of it. I think he has me designed to be the peace in this world that he wants me to be. Unfortunately enough, it leaves us at a disadvantage in some areas, but I just like anything else that I believe, he'll work us through it. And God has brought me through some impossible things so far, and I wasn't as close to him. So now that I'm closer to him, I'd imagine he's going to bring me through all of this as well. But there has to be some faith that he's going to lead me where he wants me to go, rather than trying to force me into a space that makes you comfortable. You see what I'm saying? That's what I would say to my uncle. You can't force somebody to something, but you can push them away when you're trying to. I'm in a space where I'm praying to God that I don't fall to such low frequency as to just say, I don't want to do this because I'm being forced to it. I'm 40 years old. Sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do, and I'm fine with that. But the inspiration behind it may be misguided. That's what I'm saying. I think he thinks it's going to be a solution to things that you can't find solutions for in the church. You know what I'm saying? So that's really my point of view, man. I come to you saying all of this with a great deal of respect for people who don't agree. And we'll see what happens from here, man. But I don't like being pressured to do anything. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to get better at handling pressure. You see what I'm saying? There's a balance to all of that. Accountability is first. But as far as me and my relationship with God, it's stronger than it's been in a long time, man. A very long time. And so that's what I want to say to all of you guys, man. Rest in peace to Pope Francis. My name is Bdf 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.